Now, I know what you're thinking, but it wasn't my fault. So, for this to make any sense, I'll have to start from the beginning. Okay, not that far. So, I'm taking you back to 2015, where Age of Ultron just came out and Bad Blood by Taylor Swift came out. Fun fact, the Swifties didn't. Okay, I'm gonna get a lot of hate if I finish that line. Okay, so I was still in 7th grade, and if you didn't know, I went to a boarding school, which was new at the time. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. I believe in my first ever video, I talked about my 2 roommates, who we'll call for now Ethan and Oliver. Now, these 2 were so close because they knew each other way before entering the school. And I was on my own because I was having a hard time making friends. But when I started to make friends, I started getting close to my roommates. Ethan, who was the troublemaker, the prankster, did everything to get on the hostel master's nerves. And if you're wondering, our dorm masters, I keep calling them hostel masters, are like the caretakers for our dorms, who make sure that we aren't staying up late during the night or siesta and so on. Then there's Oliver, who makes all the jokes and will make you laugh so hard you'll question how old he truly is. They were truly fun people to be around for a while anyway, till they sent my pet catfish to another realm and the other thing which I won't get into. We had so much fun in my room. I remember the stories we'd share of our past, the pranks we'd pull on the other rooms. Even a point we started a prank war. At the time, I played the role of the follower because, to be honest, I was just tagging along. So on one sunny afternoon, we had siesta. For those who don't know, siesta in boarding schools is this period where after classes, you just sleep. You don't do anything else, you just sleep. But that day, it was extremely hot and we couldn't sleep at all. So we just stayed up talking about stuff till we started making jokes, and then Ethan goes, "Hey, let's play blind tag." "Oh, cool. Let's do it." "Guys, are you sure you want to do this? The dorm master could walk in any minute to check on us." "Dude, it's fine. You worry too much." Now you see, blind tag was a game we created where one person would count and look away while the others would look for a place to hide. And then after you finish counting, you would look for everyone else with your eyes closed. When Ethan started counting, me and Oliver started running around looking for a place to hide. We turned to our bunks. Now, in my dorm, it was 4 in a room for all the rooms, but we didn't have a 4th roommate, so it was an empty bed with no mattress. So we got to the bunk beds and we would jump to the next one, which made absolutely no sense looking back at this. Wow, we were so dangerous. It was like we were running away from each other. Me and Oliver were fighting each other as if we were trying to push the other person off the bunk bed while there was this spinning fan on top of us. We were dangerous as kids. Anyway, before Ethan finished counting, Oliver jumps to the next bunk, but then we hear this loud thud. It was the ceiling fan. He hit the ceiling fan. Ethan stopped counting and we looked back, but I was confused and looked at Oliver just standing there like, why is he on the ground? Get up, you're gonna lose. Just so involved in the game. Then I see blood dripping down on the floor. Oliver goes, "Oh, my head. I'm sorry." I'm looking back at this. Why am I laughing? This is supposed to be something traumatic because younger me was scared as hell because he was like, "What's going on? Why is?" I'm getting off topic. He hit the ceiling fan so hard it cut him, and then he runs out of the room, leaving me and Ethan confused and afraid. Me being too afraid, I stayed back to clean the blood. Ethan follows the blood trail and comes back telling me that Oliver was sent to the hospital, that the dorm master and some nurses rushed him into an ambulance. I looked outside to see it. It was crazy. It was weird. I was so afraid because I thought our game caused him to get injured. I was just going, the only things that were going through my mind is he alright? Oh no, what if he doesn't come back? He owes me that wafer stick. Okay, so Ethan and I discussed on what the story was and how we tell it, because it wouldn't make any sense if we told everyone, hey, we basically got our roommate injured because we were playing this little game. So we had to formulate this sort of, would I say lie? I'll say excuse, that's the right word. But there is no other way to put it because we put our roommate on a stretcher. So yeah, I know what it looks like, but it's not my fault. A few months pass and we're getting close to the end of the first term. Oliver comes back bald. He comes back bald. I'm sorry, but like past me was relieved seeing him, but part of me was laughing seeing him bald. All his classmates rushing, coming to see him and asking him, oh, what happened, Oliver? Are you okay? Just asking him all these questions, looking at his head, shiny head. So he explains to his classmates exactly what happened when he got injured. When they rushed him into the ER, they shaved his head, then started giving him these injections on his head because they didn't want him getting any infection from the ceiling fan. Then they sewed his head. All the girls felt so bad and obviously disgusted because of the, I don't know, they were saying blood. Ugh, didn't make any sense. You weren't the one getting injured. You weren't the one getting sewn. How are you feeling? I never understood that. Anyway, they were all trying to comfort him. The girls were surrounding him, and I was just glad that my roommate was back because it was kind of weird with me and Ethan just being in the room. We really didn't have much to do. Later that day, I went to talk to him, but he was with some of his other friends. So I walk up to him. Hey, Oliver, I'm really glad you're okay, bro. That's really funny coming from you. Wait, what do you mean by that? What's going on? Well, considering you were the one who did this to me, I'm even surprised you cared. Wait, what? I didn't do... Wait, what are you talking about? Listen, if you had just jumped down from that bunk bed, I wouldn't have had to jump too. You being there made me jump and hit the fan. It was your fault. And they stuck needles in my head. Have you ever felt needles in your head? So basically, Oliver told everyone that I was the cause of his injury, and I had no one to believe me because Ethan was covering his eyes the whole time till Oliver got injured. I was really annoyed about the whole thing, but I think that's where the void between me and my roommate started, and now I didn't feel so bad for him becoming bald. Bald. Anyways, the lesson to be learned from this is don't jump from your bunk beds when there's a ceiling fan there. Are you insane? Wait. What were we even thinking? How many times have I risked my life? Ha, real funny. I'd just like to thank you guys for 800 subscribers. We're almost at 1k, which is really cool. Also, I would like to mention I got my first fan art, and her name is Rafi. He saw my video on TikTok and asked me if he could draw me, and I said sure. Thank you for the fan art, Rafi. I really appreciate it. Here's it on the screen. I should put it up there. I really appreciate it. I think I should have created an email by now. It should be in the description. If you want to send any fan art you can either send it to me through my Instagram. My socials are down there, so if you want to send it to me, you can send it there. Also, I'll put my Twitter, even though my Twitter is literally catching cobwebs. I put it in the description. So I think what will happen is if it gets a lot of, if people post a lot of drawings, fan art, I'll make a video about it. I'll talk about it, commenting on everything. Alright, later.